Hey all, this is Dave, and today's big hairy idea is the word that the rich know, but the poor do not. I'm so excited to finally have the beta edition of the Cash Machine ready. For those who saw yesterday's video, we finally got this up and out. I've been working on this book for the past year and a half, and that's a bit of a misnomer. People think, oh, I've been writing for a year and a half, but really most of that time has been researching. That I so personally needed to get myself an education about money that I didn't have. And writing this book has been my vehicle for learning about all these things about money I didn't know in the past. And one thing that I found as I was writing this is that there's one word that is almost universally known by every single wealthy person I spoke to, but only by a small minority of people who are not wealthy, who are still struggling for money, who still feel like they have a lot of financial stress on their shoulders. And that word is really what this book is all about. This is a book on financial independence. And it struck me just over and over again as I was interviewing people about the book, and I was talking to people about the book, and people were asking me what I was working on, and I'd mentioned, oh, I'm writing a novel about financial independence. And if the person was wealthy, almost 100% of the time, they say, oh yeah, that's great. That's a really important concept. Wow, people don't talk about that enough. And they knew instantly what it was. And a few times I tried to clarify, like, well, do you know what this is? Are you familiar? They're like, yeah, obviously. And the few times I asked them to explain to make sure, they always 100% knew exactly what it meant. But yet, when I spoke to most of my peers, most of the people who, like me, are not yet financially independent, and they're stressing about paying their rent, paying their mortgage, whatever else they're going through, and I'd say I'm writing a book on financial independence, they'd heard the term, and a lot of them thought they knew what it meant. But when I asked them, well, do you know what it means? Can you define it? They gave a range of definitions, and I'd say maybe a quarter of them got the correct definition of the term. And the other 75% just didn't know what the term meant at all. Had heard it, had some ideas of what financial independence meant, but were really totally off the mark. And it just struck me so strongly. It's like, wow, one area of the populace considers this to be an incredibly important term and principle, such that the word was just an absolute duh to them. And another portion of the populace just didn't know it at all. Just like it didn't come into their consciousness to really, it's not a word they've been used to using, used to hearing. And what was just fascinating is just the economic breakdown between those two, that is almost all on financial basis. Those who had money always knew it. Those who didn't have money rarely did. So what does this word mean? Not going to tell you. Sorry, that is tomorrow's video. Tune back in tomorrow and we'll go into what the word actually means.